Hi guys, welcome back. So we've got a 42-man Ireland training squad for the World Cup. It's going to be slimmed down to 33 later in August. They'll be going into a big training block at home in Dublin. They can do all their periodisation, all their different blocks of work, fitness, skills, teamwork. It's where they get a lot of their prep done. So this is one of those few times that national coaches get their players together for a long period of time. So a unique situation. All these teams should be going into the World Cup very well prepared. So if you're not in this 42-man Ireland squad, you're probably missing out. But injuries can happen. So the biggest cuts look like it's Joey Carberry not making it in as a fly half, and he'd been on the wane a little bit. He had been the next big thing, the successor to Sexton. Injuries and then just not getting back to maybe where he was, or just not living up to the expectation, means he is cut. So not a huge surprise, I guess, but probably the big name. And then, of course, some cuts in the back three. Balakoon, the very quick Ulster winger. A shame we don't see his speed, but deemed he's not quite good enough, as is Jordan Lama, who's got those great quick feet, but again, has he got the all-round game? So leaving a bit of firepower at home, but I don't think they're particularly damaging omissions, dare I say, because there's plenty of good players still in. So I'm going to react to this squad as an English fan, and I want you guys, especially the Irish guys, to let me know what you think of my assessment, how I'm thinking at the moment. Tell me where you agree, where you disagree. I love to learn off you guys. It's one of the great things about doing these videos. So straight into the squad. In the forwards, we've got Ryan Baird starting it off. And what an athlete. I really hope he makes the 33-man squad, because I love to see him charge around the pitch. Obviously second row, but young enough and athletic enough to play back row as well, so that'll help him out. A lot of these players who can play multiple positions, it could be the deciding factor to get into a squad. So Baird might be one of those. Finlay Bealham was really impressive in the Six Nations, and I think he's a certainty for the squad if he maintains that sort of form. So that's great. Tyke Byrne, I think, is a definite for the squad in the second row. Jack Conan's had a really strong end to the season with Leinster individually, although as a team, obviously, they're disappointed they didn't get those wins at the end of the season to actually get any silverware, but he was very impressive and definitely a spanner in the works to see if he starts at 8 and they have to move Doris, but I think he's in the squad. Then we've got Gavin Coombs, the big back row from Munster. He's been a nearly man for a while now without breaking into that matchday 23, but he does give serious back row size, a big tactical switch up against a big opposition maybe. So I hope he goes, but no, he's not definite. A definite is Caelan Doris though. He's going to be going starting somewhere in the back row, surely. Tyke Furlong has been Ireland's premier tight head for a long time now, but he is under a little bit of pressure, but I would still expect him to start, especially with his experience. Talking of experience, Cian Healy, the ever young, older Cian Healy, I think he's likely to feature in this squad. 4th straight World Cup squad. Amazing stuff. Brings great strength, of course, to the set piece and the carry and all that experience. So I doubt they're going to leave him at home. Ian Henderson, well, he might be a surprise cut when it comes to the 33. I don't think he's guaranteed to be a second row, but he may well go. Solid performer, lots of experience. Similar to Rob Herring, I think. I think he's likely to be the 3rd choice hooker, but not guaranteed depending what Andy Farrell sees in the warm-ups. Kelleher is the number 2 now behind Sheehan, but I think he definitely goes. Kilcoyne, another one, maybe on the chopping block. We'll see if he goes. He might do. Young Joe McCarthy, a real talent at second row. Do they take him? I'm assuming James Ryan, Tyke Byrne, they're nailed on. So there are a few second rows fighting out for those spots. Like I mentioned, Henderson, Baird, Treadwell, another one. So that's going to be a really interesting fight. So I think any of those guys could go. If it's, 4 second rows, 2 of them are going to miss out. Let me know which ones you think it's going to be. Peter Amani, the back rower from Munster, ever young again. I think he's going to go for sure. He's been starting a lot, of course, for Ireland. Gives you loads of experience, loads of athletic ability, still great line out. Yeah, so I think he's going. The more and more I see of Tom O'Toole, the more I like him. He's got a great chance to go. Porter's a staple of the starting team, so a lot's going to be expected of him, and I think he's going to have to play really well if Ireland are going to make that jump to actually win this thing, of course. Prendergast, a guy who needs a big camp. He's a good player, but there's lots of guys above him in the pecking order, so he's going to have to go some. Ryan, I mentioned, is a definite. Sheehan is a definite, has quickly emerged as one of the best players in the world. Again, could be the difference if Ireland are going to go all the way. Sheehan, they want to keep him fit. We have an uncapped Tom Stewart from Ulster, and he's obviously going to be behind some established hookers, probably, down there as fourth choice hooker already, but if he makes a strong surge, who knows, he could be a bolter, of course. I mentioned Treadwell, and Josh van der Fleet is an absolute nailed on to go and to start as well. Then into the backs, and starting with Bundee Aki, and I'd put down a definite, but is he? Maybe he could be a big name to go. He's obviously a big power guy, but if they go with McCloskey, maybe they don't take Aki, but I would expect Aki to go. Then onto a scrum half, Caelan Blade of Connacht, and he's a really good player, and I think it's a straight fight between him and Casey to go, because I think they're going to go with Murray as maybe the backup. They're going to take his experience, but Blade's got a chance, but he's definitely in with the battle, maybe with Casey. Let me know if you think I've read that one wrong. Ross Byrne of Leinster has been Leinster's main man with the injury to Sexton, and generally he's been very solid, especially for Ireland, so I think he's going for sure. Obviously disappointing that Leinster dropped away, so maybe his form was a little in question towards the end there, but generally had a really good season. Casey I've just mentioned in a battle for, I think, that third choice scrum half spot. Then we've got Jack Crowley of Munster, made a really strong late run for the World Cup cycle, and to me offers the most attacking edge of all the 10s if they're going to play him as a 10. So I think he's in a really good chance, because he's that change-up that maybe Joey Carberry would have been in the past. Dare I say, he's actually an upgraded Joey Carberry, but I'd like to see Crowley in there. I'd like to see him go, actually, but he's definitely in a fight. Keith Earls, another one in the fight, lots of experience, but beyond the starting back three, it's all up for grabs in those back three spots. Gibson Park a definite, Hansen a definite in the back three. Robbie Henshaw, a guy, I think he's a star man for Ireland. If they keep him fit throughout the World Cup, he's another one they're going to need to fire if they're going to lift the cup. He's a big player, for me, one of their best. Keenan obviously goes and starts at fullback. Lowe, I think, definitely goes, although he's a bit hot and cold sometimes with his skills, does amazing stuff and makes lots of mistakes as well. But they like to use his boot, they like his power, his finishing, so he's going, of course. Then McCloskey, very interesting. He had been the nearly man for Ireland. He has made more of a breakthrough for Ireland, but he's in a battle because Henshaw, I think, and Ringrose are definitely going. Aki's probably going as a big centre. Do they need McCloskey? I don't know. Do they take one of the utility centres? That's going to be interesting in these warm-ups to watch him. Conor Murray, I'll be surprised if he doesn't go. Very experienced 9. He's still, playing a lot of games for Munster. On to Calvin Nash, one of the form back three in Ireland, and I don't think Ireland are actually stacked with back three at the moment, established back three. I think he could be a bolter, so, watch this space. Calvin Nash, I think, could well go. Jimmy O'Brien, if you want versatility, he is your man. Maybe he's not extreme in size or pace, but he's got the skills, he's got the ability to play almost anywhere in the back line. It could be what they need in that World Cup squad, but also he could get the chop. Similar to Jamie Osborne, I really like him. He can play centre, he could play 10 as well, I think. Could be going for one spot in that versatility stakes. We'll see. You've got, Frawley there. You've got Crowley, Osborne, some very versatile players. I don't think they'll all go, though. Ringrose is definitely going to go, as is the injured captain Sexton. He'll go. Then finally on to Jacob Stockdale. Has started his career with a bang, obviously, but then he's been in the international wilderness for a long time now. Is he going to make a surge back in for this World Cup? If Farrell wants a big winger, he could be the man. There probably are better all-round skillful options, but we'll see. Those back three slots are wide open. Anyway, guys, that's how I read this Ireland squad. Let me know who you think's definite, who's on the chopping block, who you want to see in that squad. Love to know all your thoughts. Check out any other of my World Cup videos around here, and I'll catch you next time.